What happens when a defense deal stirs up the already turbulent waters of international politics? Just recently, Somalia and Turkey inked an agreement that has sent ripples through the international community. Yet this is not just any agreement, it's a defense deal, one that's been born out of rising tensions and strategic maneuverings in the Horn of Africa. Somalia, feeling the heat from Ethiopia's agreement with its breakaway region, Somaliland, has turned to Turkey for support. This agreement, designed to bolster Somali's naval capabilities, is seen as a countermove to Ethiopia's quest for access to the Red Sea via Somaliland's coastline. This defense deal is not just about ships and submarines. It's about power, influence, and territorial integrity. It's about Somalia asserting its sovereignty and Ethiopia seeking strategic advantage. But it's also about Turkey, a nation looking to extend its influence across Africa. And so, as we start to peel back the layers of this intricate situation, we see a web of competing interests and geopolitical power plays. It's a high-stakes game where nations are making bold moves on the global chessboard. As we delve deeper, the layers of this complex situation will begin to unravel. To add a new layer to these proceedings, Turkey, the second-largest standing military force in NATO after the USA, has entered the scene. We'll look at the possible outcomes of these shifts and what they could mean for Somalia and the Horn of Africa. As Somalia signs a 10-year defense deal with Turkey. This milestone agreement, endorsed by Somalia's cabinet and lawmakers, is a historic extension of a deep-rooted friendship that dates back to the Ottoman Empire. The bond between the two nations has been nurtured by centuries of shared history, mutual respect, and steadfast support, with Turkey emerging as a stalwart ally of Somalia in recent times. This alliance has been reinforced over the last decade, with Turkey playing a significant role in the rebuilding efforts of a nation ravaged by internal strife. In the past 10 years, Turkey has been instrumental transforming Somalia's infrastructure and military capabilities. They have invested extensively in the Somali banking system, which has not only boosted the economy, but has also improved the standard of living for its. Furthermore, Turkey's commitment to assisting Somalia in maintaining peace and stability has been unwavering. The country hosts Turkey's largest overseas military base, where over 5,000 security forces have received training. This intense and dedicated training has been a hallmark of Turkish aid, providing Somalia with a robust and reliable army. The new defense deal, however, catapults this relationship to an unprecedented level, a significant stride for a nation striving to regain stability. This agreement aims to bolster maritime defense and rebuild naval forces. Positioned strategically in the Horn of Africa, Somalia has been grappling with the menace of piracy, terrorism, and illegal fishing. This situation called for an ally that could contribute more than just economic support, a role Turkey was ready to fill given its established partnership with Somalia. The defense arrives in the wake of a diplomatic dispute between Somalia and Ethiopia, triggered by a maritime agreement Ethiopia signed with Somaliland. Viewed as an infringement on its sovereignty, Somalia strongly opposed this move. Yet, amidst these tensions, Turkey remained a steadfast ally, promising to assist Somalia in defending its coastline. The new defense deal involves the deployment of Turkish warships in Somali waters and to tap marine resources for Somalia. This move is part of efforts to transition from the African Union peacekeeping mission in Somalia, a region plagued by civil war and insurgency by al-Shabaab. It reaffirms Turkey's commitment to protect and support Somalia, further strengthening their historical friendship. This isn't just a defense pact, but a continuation of a shared legacy, a testament to Turkey's unwavering loyalty towards Somalia. Meanwhile, the United States has made strides of its own, signing a memorandum of understanding with Somalia to build military bases for the Somali National Army's elite forces. This strategic move occurs as Ethiopia gains membership in BRICS, causing international worry, especially for America. Alarm bells ring about a potential Horn of Africa takeover, heightened by Russia's growing influence in West Africa, displacing France from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. However, the spotlight shifts to the profound assistance Turkey has provided to Somalia during its harshest famine, highlighting Turkey's humanistic approach in international relations. This new era in East Africa's geopolitical scenario depicts Turkey's promise to rebuild Somalia, its military, and its economy. The recent in Somalia is due in no small part to the defense pact between Turkey and Somalia, which aims to enhance Somalia's naval abilities and maritime economy while tackling security threats. This pact, which is not against Ethiopia but rather focused on fortifying Somalia, has been a massive step towards the nation's stability. With significant backing from Turkey and the US, Somalia is on the cusp of a substantial transformation. Are you enjoying the video? We're about to dive even deeper into the complexities of this geopolitical dispute. But before we do, we'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button below and give this video a like. It helps us bring more of this content to you. And if you're finding this as fascinating as we do, feel free to share it with your friends and start a conversation. Now, we have a question for you. Why do you think Turkey and the USA are interested in the Horn of Africa? Their involvement adds another layer to this intricate situation. What do you think their motivations could be? Let's continue with our story. The Horn of Africa, a region no stranger to political unrest, is once again in the spotlight. The air is thick with tension as Ethiopia and Somaliland, a breakaway region from Somalia, ink a deal that has ruffled feathers across the continent. This agreement, seen by many as an act of defiance against Somalia's territorial claim over Somaliland, has given Ethiopia a lease of a portion of Somaliland's coast. While on the surface, it might seem like a simple commercial arrangement, this deal carries significant geopolitical implications. Ethiopia, a landlocked nation, has long been on the hunt for access to sea routes. Somaliland, with its strategic position along the Red Sea, provides just that. However, this move is seen by Somalia as a breach of its sovereignty, as it still considers Somaliland a part of its territory, despite the latter's declaration of independence in 1991. This lease agreement between Ethiopia and Somaliland has not only raised eyebrows, but has also stoked fears of escalating tensions in the Horn of Africa. While Ethiopia talks of cooperation and mutual development, Somalia views this as a direct threat to its territorial integrity. The deal has been received with mixed feelings by regional and international observers, with some viewing it as a potential trigger for further conflict in an already volatile region. In the midst of this high-stakes chess game, regional efforts to ease the tension have hit a brick wall. Somalia remains steadfast in its demand for the cancellation of the agreement before any dialogue can commence. On the other hand, Somaliland sees this deal as a possible stepping stone towards gaining international recognition. The rising tensions in the Horn of Africa, fueled by disputes over territorial integrity and access to the Red Sea, are cause for concern. As the dust settles on the controversial agreement between Ethiopia and Somaliland, the region braces itself for the potential fallout. This deal, however, is just the tip of the iceberg. The heart of the issue lies in an agreement inked in early January, involving Ethiopia and the breakaway region of Somaliland. A deal that, on the surface, may seem like a symbol of cooperation, but beneath the veneer of mutual benefit, it has ignited a tinderbox of tensions. The agreement allows Ethiopia to lease a portion of Somaliland's coast, a move that Ethiopia as a vital step in their quest for access to the Red Sea. This access is a lifeline to Ethiopia, a landlocked country, for it opens up new avenues for trade and bolsters its security interests. Establishment of a commercial port and naval base on Somaliland's coast is seen as a significant strategic advantage by Ethiopia. However, this very same agreement between Ethiopia and Somaliland is viewed through a different lens by Somalia. Somalia asserts that Somaliland is an integral part of its sovereign territory, a claim that has persisted despite Somaliland's declaration of independence in 1991. A move that remains unrecognized by the international community. The leasing of Somaliland's coast to Ethiopia is seen by Somalia as a blatant violation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Ethiopia emphasizes that the agreement is about cooperation and mutual development. They see it as a pathway to stronger ties with Somaliland, a region that's strategic significance due to its access to the Red Sea. But for Somalia, this deal represents a direct threat to its territorial claims over Somaliland. It's viewed as an act of aggression, a move that undermines its authority, and simultaneously, Somalia's defense deal with Turkey aims to counterbalance the growing influence of Ethiopia in the region. Regional efforts to mediate the dispute have far proven futile. Somalia insists on the cancellation of the agreement before any negotiations can take place. On the other hand, Somaliland sees this deal as a potential stepping stone towards gaining international recognition. The dispute, far from being resolved, continues to escalate. The signing of the Ethiopia-Somaliland agreement has set the stage for a potential catalyst that could further complicate the situation. Fears of escalation loom large, with the possibility of further conflict in the region becoming increasingly real. Stay tuned to learn about the resistance to mediation efforts in this escalating dispute. In the face of rising tensions, efforts at mediation have been met with stiff resistance. The Horn of Africa, a region known for its complex political landscape, has seen numerous attempts at resolving conflicts, but the current dispute between Somalia, Ethiopia, and Somaliland presents unique challenges. Regional powers have stepped in, offering to mediate the escalating situation. However, these efforts have been met with resistance from both Somalia and Somaliland. The reason behind this resistance? The controversial agreement between Ethiopia and Somaliland. Somalia maintains a firm stance that the agreement must be cancelled before any meaningful dialogue can commence. From Somalia's perspective, the agreement is a blatant violation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and its cancellation is non-negotiable. They argue that the deal, which allows Ethiopia to lease a part of Somaliland's coast, is an act of aggression that threatens regional stability. On the other side of the table, Somaliland views the agreement as a potential pathway to international recognition. Since declaring independence in 1991, Somaliland has been seeking recognition as a sovereign state. This deal with Ethiopia, despite causing regional upheaval, could potentially bolster its claim for independence. Therefore, Somaliland resists any attempts at mediation that could potentially jeopardize the agreement. These divergent interests have resulted in a stalemate, with both sides firmly entrenched in their respective positions. The resistance to mediation has further complicated an already complex situation, making a resolution seem increasingly elusive. The stakes are high, and the situation remains volatile. As the tension continues to escalate, the need for a peaceful resolution becomes increasingly urgent. Yet, the path to such a resolution remains unclear, and the resistance to mediation further complicates the prospects for peace in the Horn of Africa. Simultaneously, Ethiopia, long considered an ally of the West, is making a significant pivot. It's entering the BRICS, an economic bloc led by Russia and China, a move that could dramatically shift the balance of power in Africa. This entry signals Ethiopia's attempt to diversify its alliances and gain leverage in the region. As the geopolitical landscape changes, the future of Somalia and the region hangs in the balance. The full impact of these alliances, their potential to reshape the region's power dynamics, and the future of Somalia is yet to be uncovered. Stay tuned as we explore these developments in